We're snorting cap rates and shooting up cash flow here at Deal Junkies.
Welcome to Deal Junkies.
Whoa, was that Johnny Cash?
Did you like that?
That was deep.
Did you like that?
Welcome to Deal Junkies.
Where the interviewee has become the interviewer.
That's good.
All right, cool.
So who are you?
My name is Erik Nielsen,
Ooh.
COO of Equal Housing Group. I'm here with Trevor and Dane.
Drevin and Train.
Trevin and Dane. Trevor and Dane and Gabe. Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
thanks for
welcome.
letting us be on your show.
Thank you for
Eric.
coming to my studio,
This
fellas.
feels so important.
All right, I want to start with the hard-hitting questions. Or do we want to do intros?
It's your
'Cause
show,
we did
dude.
an
You tell
It's your show. You tell us what you want.
Okay, I think the listeners know about you guys enough. So I
Yeah.
just want to, let's just jump in.
Yeah, we're just the monkeys. This is your circus.
Okay, what is the motivation behind what you're doing?
Ooh, Trevor, you start.
Oh, Dane's gonna get really mad at my answer.
No, I love Trevor's answer.
$1 billion of equity.
I know that's the goal, right? $1 billion.
What's
Why?
the motivation?
Oh, why? Like why?
Yeah, what's your why behind what you're doing?
Why am I? I've never thought of that. That's a
why
crazy
not?
question.
How about that?
Well, I mean, it is kind of why not. Like, if you want to play the game forever, you got to have something, big enough to keep playing for, and then also. It'd be pretty cool if we had $1 billion. If I had $1 billion, I could give away $500 million. That'd be pretty fun too.
Why wouldn't you give
That
away
would
all
be
of it?
Cool.
Yeah,
You could too. Like, I mean, I only need so much money.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna? I live pretty cheap.
I asked Trevor this question like about a couple of years ago. We were out in the parking lot, and I go, what are you going to do? Like, he's like, I'm going to get $1 billion. I said, what are you going to do with $1 billion? I don't know. I'll just give it away and go make some more. And I was like, okay, that's what you
Sounds
want to
good.
do. So he's a philanthropist. He's a future philanthropist.
Future philanthropist. He's
wants
actually
current
already a current
philanthropist.
philanthropist.
Yeah, but a very big.
oh, he doesn't know that. Yeah.
Oh, he's
you don't
giving
know
away
about
money
that?
already?
He is. He
Ooh.
gave me $30 yesterday at the convenience store. He said, give this to the guy working at the cash register. So I did, and the guy said,
What's this?
thank you. Okay. I think that's
Trevor likes to give money away.
I know, and I love that. So let's dive into that. So where's the motivation behind that? I feel like you have this ability to radically change how you behave after just reading or taking in a little bit of information. Why do you think you act that way? What allows you to do that?
Learning from habits. So like once you do it once and you learn like, oh, I read this, someone said you could do this. And same thing with investing in real estate, right? Someone's like, oh, you can buy rentals, and you go do it. And you're like, oh, that does work if you do what they said because they already did it.
Mm-hmm.
So Gabe told me to read the Bible. Then I started reading the Bible, and I was like, it's the most popular book of all time. I might as well read it. Gets referenced quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, like I'll try to do some of the things this book says. And then I picked the things. There's not that many things it says to do. I'm not that far into it. But so far, there hasn't been that many things. I'm like an eighth or a quarter of the way through.
Okay.
And there hasn't been that many things it talks about doing other than like don't judge others, love other people, and like be generous.
Sure.
And I was like, okay. And then basically said, give money away. And I watch people give money away on the internet. It looks really fun. So then I was like, I should just start and then like grow it from there. Cause like just building the habit. So then I just started giving away weekly money, and I would go take it out of the bank account and then just give it away every week and just set a reminder to keep doing it. And then it's interesting cause you're like, who do I give this to? Why do I give it to them? And it's harder than you think to give away money too. Like if you give it to other people, they always want to spend it on themselves. Like if I like, hey, go give this to someone, they first think like I should buy it. I'm like, no, the only rule is you have to give it away. And then when you give someone an amount of money that they don't expect to get, like it really impacts their day and their life. Because if you think like you go give $250 to like someone making minimum wage, it's like half a week's of labor, and they could be like in credit card debt, and that could really make an impact. Or you might give it to a homeless guy, like you give them $60, they're thrilled, and they go buy more drugs, but I don't know. Like
It's possible.
It was really cool, like giving, because it's like $60. It's only like a portion of it, and then you go give it to a homeless guy, and he runs to his friend and shows his friend like what he just got. Like it was just kind of fun.
He'll just go give it away.
And like I really think like
That's what I told him.
yeah, maybe I don't know. But like I think the more you give, like it's just testing it. Like I'm selfishly doing this to make myself feel better, honestly.
Sure.
Like so it is selfish, but
I don't think that's true.
I mean it makes you feel better. Like I heard people talk about it always, and we give money, but like it's always faceless the way we give it now, because like we give it mostly where you guys want, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like, but you never actually like see who you're giving it to and like their reaction, and that's really cool.
It's also a fun goal to set. I made a commitment to somebody that we were going to give away a lot of money that we don't have. And it's like, I'm going to do this because we've been blessed and we're going to bless others, and we're not just going to do this. We're just not going to go chase the money for ourselves. We're going to help people along the way. And I think it's a better goal. I think it gives you more fire to go do what you're doing.
I think karma's
That's
real
a big
too.
why.
Well, the Bible
Like that-
says it's better to give than it is to receive.
Yeah, and
So
the energy.
you are the one
better.
benefiting from it when you give it away.
I
wanna
think you
give
really
with
are.
You want to give with a joyful heart. You never want to be like, I don't really want to give this. Like you want to feel good.
Trevor loves
About
giving it away.
That's good.
And
That's
it's
a
more
great,
of like an energy thing too, like that Paul taught us. Like you're just putting positive energy out, and then you attract more positive energy too.
I've heard, and I'm not saying this is the reason that you're doing it, but you said the word selfish, which kind of made me think about this. I don't know the exact numbers behind it, but they've done research. People that donate money, they end up making
Way more.
a lot more money in return, which is kind of an interesting idea along the lines of your energy. You're giving out energy. So I think that's interesting.
They say that every successful person was always a giver from the very beginning. Even when they didn't have much to give, they were still givers.
Well, Dane talks about Sam Harris committing at 18 to give away 50% of his income. Like, and when you're 18, you're making
50% of
nothing.
his pre-tax income.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And he lives in California.
It would lower his taxes.
And
Yeah.
Well, depending on how you give it, though, right?
I was going to
Not the way he did it.
Well, no,
Depending on, if you're just giving money away, you don't get to write that off.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you give it to a
You
charity,
can write off a certain amount. But yeah, if he's making a lot of money, 50%.
no, but like if I just give it away to a homeless guy, like you can't write that off.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you give it to a charity, then you can write it off.
It's fun to give away money too, where you can see the impact that it has. Like you can see the look on their face or see what they're going to do with it, or you really know that you're helping. Sometimes we've talked about this with other guests on the show who, for the most part, are giving money to some charity or they have some passion. And there comes a point where it's like, oh, I'm just sending my money off to this faceless corporation that brings in millions of dollars versus like, oh, I know if I wrote that group a $3,000 check, it would make a huge difference in reaching.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking of like the things I could do that I'm interested in that you could like give to and help. I was like, oh, you could go to like my past high school I went to, and you could hire some sports professional to come in and train them on. Like that's pretty cool. It'd impact all these kids, like all these things you could do. And I was like, oh, I'll do that once I have enough. And then it's like, what is enough?
Yeah, I sat with a wealthy guy once, and he owned a bunch of units, and I think he was a doctor or something. He made a lot of money, and he was like, "Man, I just wish I could make this much more, so I could just start giving away money." And it's like, nope. You could
That's
give
not how
away.
that works.
You could give away money now.
Yeah.
Like you might not be able to give away $1 million, but you could give away. You could make some really big donations going in. So I think we should always have a giving heart, and we should always give regard. I mean, just like you see the videos of people where they give a homeless guy $1 and he runs down the street and gives it to his buddy. Like, I mean, on any level, I mean, that's actually what the Bible's teaching you, is to give to the point where it's like, I don't know. It becomes a truly selfless act. Like for us to give away $30 doesn't really mean much. For a homeless guy to give away, he gets $2 and he gives one away. That's half of his net worth he gave away in 5 minutes after he handed it. It's probably why he doesn't have any money. But you know, I mean, there's something to be said about the act of giving and what you're giving, and it means something different for everybody. But you should find out, you know, how much you feel like you could give away joyfully. And that's what I told the guy. I said, I want to write you a huge check. I said, but if I'd write you the check right now, but then I'd go out of business, and that wouldn't be cool, because then I can't ever write you another check. So we got to do this and I still wrote him a check, but it wasn't as like I'm setting a goal with him that I'm going to continue to help his ministry and help him propel. And I think that honestly, I think that it's just, I think that's good mojo, man. I think that it's going to make us get to where we want to get because we're not just doing it for ourselves.
It makes every week more interesting too, just having this that you're giving away, and then you kind of forget about it. I might get like, because I've been doing it a few weeks now, and it's like you'll get to the end of the week, and it's like, oh, I have to take out more money tomorrow. I got to give this away today. Like, where do I give it? Who do I give it to?
I have to leave my house to go get this away.
And it's just more interesting. Like, you run into more interesting scenarios, and like it makes the week like more fun.
I think you're just starting to see the world differently, and like you said, it gives you good mojo, and you're putting yourself in these positions to just
It's like all the things we choose to do. Like, it makes your life more interesting. Like doing a half Ironman, it's just a unique experience, right? Of like doing this thing that not a lot of people do that helps you relate to other people that are doing interesting things, and it's just another one of those things.
Absolutely. Okay, so thank you. So your motivation is you essentially want to be into a position to give a crap ton of money.
I mean, I want to inflate my lifestyle too. Like, not gonna lie, like I live a pretty cool life. Like, we're going bike packing in Italy, and we're going to Iceland next month. Yeah,
Next month?
yeah.
Wow.
Eric's going too.
Jeez. Talk about your lifestyle a little bit. Are you traveling with Jan all the time? Because he's gone like over
Eric
half
travels
the
on
year.
his own too.
We travel a lot.
Why? Like, do you love it?
I love it. So I grew up in a family that traveled a ton. So my grandma kind of started this off. She was a single mother with my mom, and she came from El Salvador with her mom, and for some reason just got this bug. She traveled for the first time when she was, I think, 16 or 17 with her family. Loved it immediately. And then until now, we just took her to Morocco last year for her 85th birthday.
Nice.
It was my birthday, my sister's birthday, her birthday. She was 85. We took her to Morocco. She's been doing this for 70 years. She would work a job, part-time job, whatever she could get in San Francisco, work it for 6 to 9 months, save up as much cash as possible, head to Europe with my mom, stay there as long as possible. And then she would do this every year until now, basically.
Wow.
And so my mom inherited that bug a little bit. So we started traveling. I took my first European trip when I was 18. It was like a high school present. I got to go to Europe for a month with my friend, 3 of my buddies, and we just ran amok in 10 different countries. So that was my first big experience. And ever since then, I loved it. I love the experiences that you get in as Trevor said, experience about life. You see different cultures, meet really cool people. I still have friends that I've met from travels that, you see them on Instagram, on text, whatever. And you just get these experiences that a lot of people don't get. I know people that have never left California. I know people that don't want to leave California. And I think that's ignorant outlook, to say the least. So something about it feels special. Feels like you get a piece of the world, and you realize that, kind of in line with what we're talking about in with this giving, is that you're really not that different from other people. We're all very, very similar. We all have the same fears, the same desires, the same goals in a sense, and that helps you see that, I think.
So you guys are running your business from
Everywhere.
all over the planet.
Everywhere.
Which is one of the benefits of real estate. If you're doing it the way you're doing, you have a team, you're running operations, but you can be on calls with your managers and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm in Morocco, but I'm still going to have my calls with my managers this week and see how the properties are performing.
And that's the great thing about an iPhone, is a lot of my work that I do is email and video calls. I don't need to be on a computer doing spreadsheets. That's just not really what I do. So a lot of what I do is really easy to do on the go. This year I've been to Mexico, Thailand, Italy, Malta, hopefully going to Iceland next month. And
then Italy.
Not
doing Italy?
Not for me. I was just there. I got back about a couple weeks ago, so I won't go back, I don't think.
And you and Jan, you travel together?
Occasionally. We went to Japan in December, and then before that we went to...
Oh, you were snowboarding with these guys?
Yep. We were ducking the rope, and hitting some
That looked
powder.
like a sweet day.
That was unreal.
That was a crazy day.
That was really, really fun.
Yeah.
So we travel together occasionally. Probably going to be doing it more. We're going to Iceland in August together with Trevor as well. I don't think Dane's coming.
I'm hunting.
He's not invited.
Does Jan have a place he calls home?
Seattle.
But he's not there very often.
He's there for probably 7
6
months.
months and
Oh,
one
okay.
day out of the year.
Yeah, exactly. just
That's
for
his
tax
primary
purposes.
residence.
Yeah, he does flips and there, and so he'll live in the flip. And right now he has a little condo on the beach. He likes Florida a lot, so he spends some time in Florida because Seattle winter is kind of brutal.
So you guys don't have wives and kids and all that yet.
No, not yet.
Eric's about to have
We're
a wife.
working on it.
Is that going to change your lifestyle?
I don't think so. I mean, probably, but like
Kids will for sure. The
Kids
wife
will.
may not.
the thing about, yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't say for sure. But
I do.
yeah, did she change your lifestyle?
Oh yeah, it changed my lifestyle.
He did when he was 18 though.
17.
17.
You got married at 17?
Mhm.
Actually,
And had kids
Is
at
that
17.
interesting?
yeah,
And
I think
adventurous?
that's very interesting. It is. So tell me about that. You've been married this whole time?
No, I've been married 3 times though.
3 times?
That's interesting too.
Third time's the charm, right?
It was.
Okay.
Yes.
So 17. Okay. So how long did that last?
We were together for 6 or 7 years total, I think.
That's a lot longer than I would have expected at
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you broke up right when your prefrontal, your lobe developed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And what about your current wife? How long have you been dating?
We've
married, I guess.
been together for over 17 years.
What's the secret?
The most important decision you'll make for your life and your success is the person you marry.
Mm-hmm.
There is no greater decision that you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, we have this spiritual principle about deals where we say a good deal gets better and better, and a bad deal gets worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with marriage. A bad marriage gets worse and worse. A good marriage gets better and better.
Okay.
And so I just, for me, I'll say that I picked my first 2 wives. It didn't work. And I let God pick the third one, and it worked.
What does that mean?
So when I first met my wife now, Jan, I thought like, oh, this can't be the one. Like, this is too normal. It's too boring. Like, she was great.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
But I was uncomfortable without, I don't know, there was
No
some,
drama.
there's a little bit of chaos that was maybe missing or something that was exciting. And so I had to stop myself and go like, I'm not going to ruin this because I'm an idiot. I'm going to just stop and try to find a way to be comfortable. And it took a little while.
Okay.
Our relationship's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been great, but it's just she's been the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, I'm
Tommy
blessed.
and Dane.
You guys are somewhere on the list. Yeah. They're a great thing too.
Okay. Dane, how do you feel about what Gabe is saying right now?
About what Gabe's saying?
Yeah.
This feels like a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
Because Dane wants to get married.
He does
So
want
bad.
to get very,
So
very
bad.
badly, which I,
Why are you
Matt.
guys saying that? How do you know that?
I can feel it.
Dane, we talk about this
mean-
all the time.
I can
That you
feel
wanna
it
come
coming
All
from
the time?
Wait, sorry. We're not supposed to talk about this right now?
Oh, no, we can't.
We don't have to. If this is, sorry, I didn't mean to.
This is a good interview.
no,
You're
no,
asking
no.
the tough questions.
No,
Is this okay?
I don't know. I'm just ready for the next stage, I guess. It's like when because I was going to get married at 19.
Yeah.
And then there were some
Complications.
external factors that that were brought to light but at that point, I was kind of mentally prepared to do it, and my family's all gotten married super young. And so I kind of felt pressure for a while to get married just in college.
Yeah.
Because that's when my whole family got married, and they all got married fast.
And to
too.
be clear, they're all happily married still,
Oh, extremely happy.
which
yeah.
is very incredible.
My whole family, not even just my blood relative, but my extended family has kind of all done it the same way. And I think that a huge part of that is culturally, or the view of marriage within our family is very different than a lot of
unique.
other family. I think it's a very Christian view of marriage. In that it's just you're making a decision. And I think that a lot of people nowadays, at least, are wondering what they're going to get from their future spouse, what's going to get given to them.
Yeah.
And that, that's part of why you live together and date for so long, is because, you're trying to figure out if you can make it work. And it's at the end of the day, yes, there's people that are never going to work together, but there's people who are I don't even know, like oil and water.
Yeah.
But they've made the decision to make the marriage work, and like it just works. And they're because they're not looking for anything external. It's like, how can I be a better partner to the other person?
Yeah.
But anyways, like so that was like our view on marriage was always just like, when you're married, like you don't ever get a divorce. Like it doesn't.
Right.
It's not even like a word. And so I expected to get married young, and then quickly, and then it didn't happen. And now, and
I would say you're pretty young still.
Definitely.
well, I mean, I'm not as young as a 19-year-old, but
That's true.
but I did get to the point where I stopped, like, at least feeling the pressure to get married. Like, and I think recently in the past few relationships I've had a much better view on like how I should handle them, I guess. We don't really have to get into
we don't need to get into
reason.
that. What I was curious
But-
about is what do you think about Gabe saying God found his wife for him?
I mean, I think that that's true, but I think a huge part of that is more Gabe becoming the person that God wanted him to be than it is necessarily like God being like, hey, Gabe, go talk to Jan. like I think it was just you being the person that you should have been.
Yeah, the only thing it takes to find the right partner is to become the right partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was not the right partner, and that's why my first two marriages didn't work.
I feel like I'm the perfect partner. Why am I not married?
You've got Willie. Willie thinks you're the perfect partner.
Willie's perfect for you, man. Wow.
But no, I agree with that side of it. I think that was like a huge portion of the last like 5 years for me was just becoming the like husband that I want to be, I guess. And then
Would you marry you as another?
yeah. Or would if I met who my future wife would be, would I think that person would marry me?
Right.
Like if I'm envisioning who I want my future wife to be, would I be like, oh yeah, I'm a perfect fit? Or would I be like, oh, I don't know if she'd like that.
Sure.
Like, and so that's like a huge lens of how I've been looking through it for the last like 5 or 6 years.
I think that's amazing. I think that's really good because it kind of goes back to giving almost that Trevor was talking
Totally.
about, where you're not doing it because you're trying to get something
Expecting to receive anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, it's the only way to make it work.
It's the only way to make it work.
Yeah.
So back to the initial question here that started. What is your motivation?
To do everything we're doing. I think that like outside of anything religious,
Yeah.
but this is a very religious principle. Like most people's goal should be to reduce suffering as much as they can for usually first themselves and then extend that out as much as they possibly can. And so if you take on that responsibility, if you believe that you have the ability to do it, like my goal is to reduce suffering first for myself and then the ability to do it for my immediate family and then the ability to do it for kind of my like extended family. And then at the same time, like my friends and the community around me. It's like there's some people that are never going to have the capacity to do that. And I think that if you have the capacity to like give back to the community and just help people come out of the natural world that is suffering as much as you possibly can and help them get to a state of where at least like they can bear it better, like then it's your responsibility to do that.
Totally.
And that, I don't know.
Scott Galloway says that. Do you guys know Scott Galloway? I'm assuming. I like that guy. He's so eloquent. He speaks so well. I love listening to him. But he says the essence of manhood essentially is to just take on more shit than other people can.
Grab the biggest rock that you can pick up and carry it up a hill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think another person that told me a good way to put that is back to what you said originally. I forget exactly what you said. I forget what you said, but
Reducing suffering?
yes, thank you. Reducing suffering. Another way to put that in dollar terms is kind of what I like is life's a shit sandwich. The more bread you got, the less shit you eat. I love that one.
Yeah. Brandon has said that.
Has he?
Yeah. Brandon says that sometimes.
Love that guy. All right, so Gabe, what's your motivation?
Well, I got here by accident. Well, it's not accident. It's coming into real estate was also God picked this path for me because I was going to be a car dealer. So I started off my life as a car salesman, and so this is better. Like I believe that God won't give us second best, and so I have my own ideas of what I want, and then He's got a better idea for me. So this is the path I'm on, and maybe He'll change my path at some point. But I just trust that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's, coming out of an industry like that, it's incredibly, it's just incredibly rich and fulfilling life. It's just so much better. I can't even really put it into words, like the difference between the two. When I got into real estate, the day I started is how I look at my retirement. Like my retirement started when I went into real estate. I've never looked at real estate as my career.
Work.
It's always been my retire. This is what I did for fun after I retired from work.
Okay.
And so I found far greater success doing this than I found in my work. But a lot of the things I learned in my work really helped me succeed in what we're doing today. So, but we had a few episodes ago, we were talking about these guys. Trevor was telling me I lost my purpose or something. And it's not really the case. Like, I'm not super money motivated. However, the way I got here was through survival. I wasn't in my 20s like you guys, traveling the world, thinking about getting married and having a family. I did it in reverse. And so I started off getting married in high school. I had 2 kids by the time I was 19, went into survival mode, and it was always just about how to pay the bills, essentially. And so by the time I got into real estate, my kids were grown. My real estate career was kind of selfish because everything I had done up to that point, I did it. It was my dad's car lot that I ran. I did it for my family. My mom worked in the business. I needed to take care of my kids, my wife, and all the other stuff. And so going into real estate was like, I finally get to go do something I want to do and do it for me. And so there was a selfish component because the work I was actually doing was work I wanted to do.
Sure.
And so it just made it fun. It was never work because I loved it so much. And then, through that, you build some success, you make a few bucks, and then it's like, oh, now it opens up this whole other door, and you start to look at your bank account and go like, well, how much more do I really need?
Sure.
And that's when you go like, okay, like I've stopped my suffering. By the way, like my suffering was great.
Yeah.
Raising 3 daughters and being married 3 times and being in the car business and a family business,
and doing a bunch of drugs.
Well, yeah, and I was alcoholic. I don't know if you've listened to my story, but drug addict, alcoholic. So I've been sober now for a while, and a long while, yeah, a lot longer than I was drinking and using, but. My life is so dramatically different. Like I'm living what you guys are doing now in your 20s. I'm so jealous in a way because that's one of the reasons. Like when Trevor came with me, and then Dane came, and any of the young people that are around me that I get to mentor, I'm super just jazzed about being able to help young people who have this vision, and they're like, oh, I want to do these cool things because they're doing it. They're doing something I wish I could have been able to do. The one thing a real estate investor will always tell you if they ask, do you have any regrets? They'll always say, I wish I would have started earlier.
Right.
And so I didn't start buying real estate till I was almost 40 years old. So you guys are already, you're a decade away from me even starting. So imagine you're living your life, you're raising kids, you're trying to pay your bills, do all the stuff, trying to get sober, and then 10 years from now, you jump into real estate. So you guys have such an advantage over me just from a time standpoint that you start this out in your 20s and you start building an asset column, you start building a business and finding this knowledge on how to scale and how to go bigger. Like you're talking about, we need to go bigger. It's like you own 14 parks. You don't actually need to go bigger. You want to go bigger because you're 27 years old. Like, what are you going to do? Stop.
That's what you do.
Stop, right? I mean, like, sure, you're already traveling the world. You're living the life. You're doing all the things that you want to do. You're doing so much more than other 27-year-olds are doing. Like, I don't know if you guys understand, like, you guys are not like other people in your age group.
Everyone I know is doing the same thing.
That's why we have such a unique group.
Because you guys are in a vacuum.
Yeah,
Right.
but we have to fly a kid up from Petaluma, California, so that we can like talk to somebody who's doing what we're doing.
Well, we had a really good conversation about this in
Yeah.
Belgium, actually, where we just came to this exactly what you said. We just didn't know anybody else that was eating the shit the way that we were, and why were we doing it? It was an interesting conversation. It's like, why the hell are we doing this? Like, but thank God I can talk to Dane and Trevor because they're the only ones who understand what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
So it's a very unique position that we're in, and it's all I have is you guys to talk about it, really, and Dylan, our other buddy Dylan, and it's nice to be able to talk about it. But it's hard to compare yourself to you, for example. I compare myself to you, and I'm like, am I doing as much as I should be? You know, am I really? Like, look at Dane and Trevor; they're way ahead of me. Like, am I really doing enough? So it's good to hear that. Thank you.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
It really is.
And you know, it's easy for us to always look forward and go like, well, I don't have what Gabe has. Well, you're not 50 years old either, you know, and you didn't go through 2 decades of like, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, like, I've been through the trenches.
Yeah.
And so that's helped me a lot, and it's built a lot of wisdom, and it's great. I'm glad that I did it, and something good came from it. At least I didn't just end up actually succeeding and killing myself.
Right. Well,
but for me, this is like a bonus round. I get to go live my bonus round, and then I get to help all you young guys go out and hopefully not do what I did. And
what do you? Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
What do you see in what we're doing that we could be doing better?
Well, I think that one of the things that you guys at your age don't quite have yet is patience.
Yeah.
And so Trevor loves to play. In one hand, he says, I'm playing the long game. This is delayed gratification. On the other hand, he's like, we got to move faster.
Happens today.
Yeah.
And so I think that like Dane made a comment just a few minutes ago where he said, I'm just ready to go into the next stage of life. The first thought that came to my mind is I sure hope he's enjoying the stage he's in now, because he's going to get to that stage and go like, wow, like this stage is cool, but I had it made.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like he doesn't know what's coming. I know what's coming because I've been there before, and I know the difficulty. I was just at my daughter's house last night. She has 2 young kids, my grandkids. They're great, but my grandson was having he was having a meltdown and anxiety attack or something. And so it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm driving over to their house, and my daughter's just like, she's like, this is freaking hard. She's like, I mean, she's at her wit's end.
Right.
You know, she's 30. She's got 2 young kids, and the kids just always, I mean, it's, you guys just don't know yet because you haven't done it. It's just like somebody who hasn't done a real estate deal yet doesn't know what a deal is. They don't know the brain damage. They don't know the joy and the pain and all the things that come along with it. You guys just don't know because you just haven't done it. You've seen other people do it. When you get there, you're going to have a lot more respect for the people who have done it. I'll tell you that much.
Totally.
And I sat with my little granddaughter, and she's giving me a hug. I looked at her and I said, I told your mom not to have kids. And I did. I told all my kids, I said, you know what? And being a grandparent's the best part of life. It's the best.
All the fun.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And I looked over at my daughter and I said, parenting would be a lot easier without kids. And she's like, oh, it'd be so much easier. Like, she hasn't slept in a couple of days. Kids are up in the middle of the night. They're having, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. Is it worth it? I'll let you guys decide for yourself. I will say, when I was parenting, what I would always say is it's like 99% pain and 1% fun and joy, but that 1% is so joyous that it outweighs all the rest of it. That's probably the best way to describe it, because like when you're in the middle of it, I don't care how good your marriage is. I don't care how mellow your kid is. It is a hard thing to do to raise children. So my hat's off to everybody out there raising kids, especially raising kids and running business. Like I look at you guys, and you guys have got a good foundation, but it'll be interesting to watch you as you go and you move into that next phase where you do get married, you do have kids, and then you're like, your why is going to change. You're going to be looking at it and going like, sure, I want to make a lot of money, give a lot of money away, but suddenly now you're going to have this new focus where it's like, I've got this family unit that I've got to take care of. And it kind of just becomes you against the world. Like you got to make it. So
I think that's been a very interesting part in my career so far, is going from this, and I haven't been in fight or flight mode as long as you are, or to the depth and level that you were, but kind of in that realm of just my personal battle of needing to be somewhere because I had this idea of wanting to be there, and realizing that now I'm in that spot and I'm like, I need to start leveling up the person that I am so that I can actually run a team of 15 people the way that it needs to be ran, not like a naive little 27-year-old. Like, I need to become a person that's able to field all these problems daily and not lose my cool and actually be able to deliver results and kind of be that shoulder for people and lead. So that's a very unique thing that I'm going through right now. It's like,
It's not unique.
I guess maybe not. It's not unique.
We all need to be leveling up.
Right.
Constantly, we need to be looking for growth.
Right.
Because you don't want to stagnate. But then the problem is you're going to get to the point where you're like, this is what I always wanted. This is what I always asked for. Now that I'm here, what am I supposed to look for next?
Well, everyone says like they regret not living in the moment enough on the whole way up.
Is that why you got that watch?
Well, kind of, yeah.
It's
like,
now.
It's now.
Well, I thought it was just cool because Gabe talked about it. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And then I saw this dude making custom ones. So I was like, I'll do that. But yeah, like that's part of it is like, because I think I could easily fall into that.
Not living in the present.
Yeah, because I want more and I'm looking for it. And then I think about like the first goals I hit of like achieving passive income to retire, making my first $1 million of net worth. And like once you get there, you feel nothing.
You feel nothing.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, you got to enjoy the process or it's not worth doing.
I think I've been realizing that pretty seriously in the last couple of years and that's why I asked that question of why. What's the motivation? Because I think, we asked this question in Japan. It's like, question each other, why are you wanting to do this? Like so I can travel. You're already traveling. So I can have a successful business. You already have one. It's like, why is a really important.
When you're sitting in Greece, Trevor's not high because you're in Greece. He gets high because you're looking at a deal.
Exactly.
We're deal junkies.
You're deal junkies.
We get high off of deals. Like that's the real answer.
True.
Is we love what we do.
Yeah.
But then at some point, maybe the deal doesn't get you high anymore. Or I got to go do a bigger one. Like you're saying, like, oh, well, we just bought a 600,000. Now we need to go buy a 6 million. Well, do you?
Right.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
When you look at the spreadsheet, maybe you'll make more money, maybe you won't. But like, which one gets you jazzed? Which one's exciting? Which one's fun? Like you talk about your deal in Pendleton.
Yeah.
All you want is just to keep going and looking for the Pendleton deal over and over and over and over and over again. Just keep doing the deal you love.
Right.
Because then life is good. You love the deal. It gives you what you're looking for out of the deal, and you're not stressed out. Like there's no reason to be worried at this point about putting yourself in a position where you're going to lose it all, or you're up at night, you're stressed out, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Life's too short to live like that.
Life's too short.
But you got to go through. You're still going to have plenty of struggles, and that's
Every
where the growth. Honestly, that's where the growth comes from is pain.
Yeah. That's what I think.
When you're comfortable, you stagnate, and so you have to. You're Masogi. The thing. You guys and what you do in real estate is nothing compared to going and running Ironman. Is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. But like this is where the growth comes from. You guys are out. You're out seeking the pain so you can get growth because your life is so comfortable. And so most people don't have that problem.
Right.
For most people, life is just so painful. Hopefully, they're growing from their lessons that they're getting, but. You have to have your ass has to be on fire to be willing to change.
Yeah.
And when you're comfortable, you're complacent, and there's not that thought of what can I do to level myself up.
I think go back to whether or not I'm enjoying the current phase, because I don't think you were suggesting that I wasn't, and I certainly think that I am. But even throughout life, like with real estate, like getting into real estate, like I enjoyed the phase of my life before I got into real estate, and getting into real estate was like much more stressful than what I was doing before. Like it was way more fun to work at a coffee shop from like a day-to-day perspective. Like that was awesome. But I knew that was never going to be my end goal. And so like my goal when I'm looking at that is like, how can I do something that'll give me fulfillment on a daily basis? How can I make sure that I like can turn my brain off at the end of the day still and enjoy actual life, like cook dinner and not think about work while I'm cooking dinner.
That's worse than work.
And then
I agree.
For Trevor it might be, but like I enjoy the mundane things in life, and I want to. Because like that's the purpose of life, is to enjoy the mundane. Like it's to enjoy the underwriting of deals or whatever it may be, like the day-to-day things that you have to do every day.
You know what my favorite thing is now that I'm 50?
Washing dishes.
Sleeping.
I like sleep.
Are you one of those guys who can just lay your head on the pillow and knock out immediately?
When I was your guys' age, I thought sleeping was a waste of time.
Yeah.
I thought I was missing out on life because there was this whole other period of time where there could be things going on that weren't going on.
That's Trevor.
So I was Trevor.
Yeah.
But I did it with drugs and alcohol and partying instead of deals and all the things that, he does it in a healthy way. But
Yeah.
I wanted to extract every ounce of life that I could get out. And I thought if I went to sleep, I wouldn't be able to get it. So I actually tried to not sleep, and I didn't for a lot of years. Now that I'm 50, I'm like, oh, my favorite thing to do is go to sleep.
I don't like going to sleep.
I love it.
You don't?
No, but
You're
I know
too
I
young.
got to get 8 hours
You're too young
to function optimally for those other
To buy
hours.
deals during the other.
Yeah, and to go fishing. I caught fish this morning while Eric was sleeping.
Brown trout down in the Willamette.
Yeah.
Trump only sleeps like 3 hours a night, I think, or maybe they lied to us about that.
I don't know. He's got a gene.
Kim Jong-un probably doesn't sleep at all.
All right, Eric, what else you got for us,
Ooh.
Mr. Host?
Mr. Host. Okay. Thank you for all those questions. Do we want to talk real estate or do we want to
Whatever
talk
you want.
life still?
Life's good.
Yeah.
Real estate's cool too.
What's
You're in
on,
charge, dude.
What's on your mind these days? What have you been focusing on that's fun?
Trevor's trying to live in the moment.
Yeah, I noticed that about you. So this morning we were I don't know, Trevor was up at like 4:30 this morning.
No, not that early. I had to sleep in a little bit because they were in my living room screaming at the TV playing Call of Duty and opening my door while I was trying to sleep.
It's not
And
true.
that's a perfect
That was
example
Willie.
of living in the moment. Right?
And then you went outside and went fishing.
So yeah, Trevor woke up, he fixed a jet ski, he went fishing, he saunaed, he showered, and you're doing a lot in a day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a good day.
And
You can call it. You can go to bed.
before 9 a.m.
Yeah. Your second day started at 9 a.m.
So what's your question?
You know what's on Trevor's mind all the time? Activities.
It is.
He wants to try to get as many activities in today that he possibly can.
Trevor does not enjoy
how you have a
that's
better
actually
day,
what
though.
he said. That is actually what he said. I don't know. I do love a good day where I watch 6 movies on a Sunday.
No, that's nice too, but I don't think you can truly enjoy that
Trevor,
if you're doing it all the
you've
time.
never done that before.
When I watched Yellowstone, finished it in 2 weeks.
That's true.
So
Did you watch it because of Paul?
yeah, because these guys were talking about it. And I was like, okay, let me check it out. And I started watching. I was like, holy, this is amazing. And then I was like, I can't watch TV anymore because those 2 weeks I was doing like 3 hours a day minimum.
Addictive personality.
You do. You just go to the max in whatever you do.
It's more fun to live that way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have higher highs,
Do you have lower lows?
probably, but those are also more fun too, though.
Really? Because it makes coming back
Contrast
up better.
yeah. And it's more you have a more interesting life, and the whole like when you get to the end of your life, like you would rather you did all the things or tried to do them.
So you mentioned Paul. Have you guys talked about him on the podcast at all?
All the time.
All
yeah.
the time? Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about him a little bit last night. I thought the way he spent money in his last 10 years or whatever was very interesting. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Whatever you want to talk about
That
on it.
dude's
Yeah.
sick.
Bring it up.
Trevor,
I mean-
he just said he does.
Yeah. What do you want to talk
Well,
about?
so you said you watched Yellowstone, right? Because of Paul.
Yeah.
And what did he do?
He bought all these ranches after he watched Yellowstone.
So he became the largest
Ranch
owner.
owner. and-
Cattle rancher in Central Oregon.
And what did he do with that?
I think he just enjoyed it.
He just enjoyed it.
I think he just liked
can
being
tell
a
us
rancher.
more. Yeah.
Well, he grew up. He said he was what was it? West Central Illinois. What did he say? He was a poor dirt farmer. So he grew up on a farm, slave labor. He was child labor. And so you grow up on a farm and you just got to wake up early in the morning and take care of all the animals and do all the stuff. And so that's the way he grew up. Him and his brother both decided they weren't going to be poor dirt farmers, and they went off and got into real estate and become very wealthy. And then later in life, the way Paul described it when he bought ranches, I said it was Yellowstone. I think Yellowstone kind of got his wheels turning again.
Yeah.
He called it a healing process.
Okay.
And so he was trying, towards the end of his life, he was trying to convince me to buy a ranch. And I'm like, no, you can, if you can show me how this thing pencils, we might go buy a ranch, but I don't see it. Then he's like, okay, well then what you need to do is you need to go start buying car dealerships. And I was like, Paul, do you know, like, the number one thing that drives me to be successful in real estate is to never have to go to a car dealership. He goes, I know, that's what it is. That's what this is all about. Like someday
He doesn't want to be a poor dirt farmer.
He's like, we need to go buy a car dealership. So for him, it was like going back to his roots. I think there's a lot that happens to us with the way we're raised to where, I won't call it trauma, but like he didn't agree with his dad's methods of how
daddy.
Yeah, daddy didn't. Daddy was a poor dirt farmer. He didn't do the things he should have done. He was too conservative. There were a lot of things that Paul picked up from his daddy, like the lack of trust in government and the way the money is printed and all the things. Like a lot of that came from his dad, but he wanted to go off. And I think a lot of it was you get a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. Like I got to go out and create something bigger than what my dad created. And then some of it is like, you grew up that way and it's like, I'm going to go back. I go back, as you get older, you start to go back to the way things were. Yeah. And it's like, he still longed. Like what he would talk about was, I own all these boring apartment buildings and I've lived my whole life on pavement. and that's the way he described it. He would say like, there's something just healing and special and spiritual about being on dirt instead of on pavement. It's like that connection. It's like kind of just going back to your instinct. And so it was, for him, it was instinctual to want to own dirt. Yeah. Like he showed me one of his ranches once, and we're standing up on this thing looking out, and we're looking out as far as you can see. And he's like, do you see that mountain way over there? I was like, don't tell me you own that mountain. He goes, I own everything up to the mountain and everything over the mountain and then past the mountain.
He had a Lion King moment.
And I was like, so what does that do for you? He's like, it's just fun. And I was like, what is fun about it? He's like, I don't know. It's just fun. I was like, so does it do anything? Like, so you got to pay the tax bill on it. You got to like keep the coyotes off of it. You got to keep people off your land. You got to protect your water. You got to do all this stuff. When you own things, you got to take it's responsibility, like it's work.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, for him, like he just had this innate desire to build this empire and to own it. For him, it was fun.
Yeah.
To some people, maybe that sounds fun. To me, it doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can stand here and look at the mountain and enjoy it just as much as you, and I don't have to pay the tax bill on it, But
we yearn for the dirt.
Yearn for the dirt. There's a modern philosopher. His name is Ryan Holiday. He's like a stoic, and he says it's good to get lost in the labor of taking care of things. So maybe that was something that Paul liked to do.
But not little things.
No,
he called it his little thing. But it's like, this is not little.
Yeah.
There's a lot here to take care of.
There is a lot here to take care of. Absolutely. All right. So shifting gears a little bit. Does the audience know that you went to that thing in Napa?
All In Summit?
Yeah.
Oh, we did an episode on it after.
On that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about more if you want.
I mean, we just had I have some general questions about it. Like, what was the biggest takeaway for you, Dane, from that conference?
It was that I wasn't saying why not and answering the questions the right way. Like there were so many like the real estate was a safe asset for most of the guys that were there.
Yeah.
And they were just thinking so much bigger. And I think a lot of the people there were thinking much more about the future. Like a lot of those guys were trying to put themselves in 2035 or 2040 and imagining what the world was going to look like. And they were trying to solve problems that they knew were going to exist. And I just don't think that we think that way. And they are heavily rewarded when it works.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the guys there were billionaires, and like just the way that they thought and the way that they spoke. Also, they're just normal dudes. Like they're kind of crazy, but they were all just normal dudes.
Yeah.
But the biggest takeaway was just that like, there's not as much that separates us, I think. Like, I think, I don't know. In my mind, it used to blow me away that somebody could, figure out that, I don't know, that SpaceX was going to blow up in 10 years and then buy it. And now it just seems like dumb. Like anybody could have done that. They just were gambling on Elon Musk being successful. And like, they're really not smarter than any of us necessarily. And a lot of times the guys that like, are just less risk averse and are willing to gamble everything on their biggest bet are the ones that make all the money.
Right.
And most of those guys weren't even investing their own money at the start, which is like what we're doing too. And so I don't know. The biggest takeaway was just thinking bigger, which is what we talked about in the last episode. Like those dudes all think so huge.
So that's an easy thing to say, think bigger, but I feel like breaking it down is kind of daunting though. Like, is there a framework for thinking bigger? How do you think bigger?
I still think it's the why not question.
Yeah.
Like you look at, to Gabe's point, like you look at the guys who are doing what you want to do actively, and it's like, okay, so-and-so owns 20 apartment complexes that are 200 to 400 units, and they were all built in the last 15 years. It's like, okay, that would be really cool if we were sitting in that position, right? Where we owned all these assets that were super high quality. We had built most of them, and they were all big enough to like have their own on-site manager, have 2 on-site maintenance guys, have a like leasing agent on-site. Like simplicity wise, awesome. The property managers all know exactly what they're doing across your whole portfolio. You have an asset manager who's watching over all that stuff. Okay, so like reverse engineer, how do I get there? It's like, yeah, I mean, if I want to get there in 50 years, then I can do it by buying 10 unit complexes and just waiting on the market to go up and levering those as often as I can. And if I want to do it in 40 years, I got to do 20 unit complexes. And then if I want to do it in the next 10 though, I mean, I have to start doing it. Like if I want to own 20 of those properties in the next 10 years, it's like I can't hope that like the market just skyrockets and then I get to trade into those. It's like, well, I have to start building them now. And so how am I going to build the first one? Like the question is, it's just like, okay, so if I can do 1, then I can do 20. And so the question of like, how do I do the first one? It's like, well, okay, what's the next step? Identify the piece of land. Like find a piece of land somewhere, anywhere that can facilitate that project, and then see if it actually underwrites, and then just move from there. But it's not like rocket science. I think that it's so daunting because it's like, well, how do I get to 20? Start with 1. Like, and so I think that the lens of like, why can't I do that was the biggest thing. Because if there were a true, like, why can't I do that, there was a real reason, then it'd be like, okay, well, maybe we should start a little smaller and try to move into those later.
Well, if
but
you know, like,
we
A
haven't
to
encountered.
C, yeah, you know where you're at, you know where you're trying to go. You're only going to know B. And then once you figure out B, you'll know C.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. But most people think of Z and they think of all the steps in between, and then they just don't go.
Yeah.
Looks like too much.
Yeah.
It looks like you could never get there. Then you talk to people like Paul and you go, how did you do it? And he goes, I don't know. I just inched it along every day. I just bought a little duplex, and I bought a little fourplex, and then I bought a little bit bigger project, and then I just kept stacking them up. And he goes, one day you turn around and look back and you go, whoa, how did I do that? It's action. He had to do something. He didn't dream about buying deals. He just bought deals. And then one day he owned a couple thousand units.
I mean, I think the same thing's true with running. It's so much. That's part of why like I enjoy running so much now. Is it's an easier, I guess, like process to get to the outcome that you want to get to. In my opinion, I guess, like you just have to run a mile, and then like next week you run 2 miles, and then next week, like it's so simple. But if you start and you're like, I'm gonna run 100-mile, like I haven't even ran a 100-mile race, but now I know I could. Because it's like, well, all I have to do is start a training block and give myself enough time, because that's what I did with the 50-miler. That's what I did with my first marathon. It's like, I just have to run enough. Like, and the same thing's true in real estate. It's like, how do you buy a 260-unit deal? Well, you like start buying little deals, and then you'll figure out how to buy slightly bigger deals. And then at some point, you'll just jump to that size of deal. And then once you know how to do that size of deal, it's like, Trevor, could you run 50 miles tomorrow? Yeah.
There's also something to be said for, you guys talked about your group of people, like everybody you know is doing this. And it's true that you become who you surround yourself with. And so one of the easiest ways to think bigger is to hang out with somebody who's already done something bigger than you. Because when you come to Trevor and you go like, hey, we're scared to do a $10 million deal. What do you think? And Trevor's like, no big deal. I've already done a $10 million deal. But then when Trevor's like, well, I want to go to a $25 million deal. Well, now he's got to hang out with somebody that's in a $25 million deal.
So we need to do more of right now, we realized.
But it's interesting because that deal scares you before you've done it. The very first deal you ever do is the scariest deal you ever do.
Absolutely.
And then you look at that deal now and you go, is that deal scary? It's almost comical. You're like, no, that deal's too little. I wouldn't even look at
Gobble
that.
that up.
I just scratch a check for it, or I just go like, nah, that's too small. I don't even want to mess with it. But but it's like, it's the biggest hill you've ever climbed. Once you've climbed that hill, to your running analogy, it's like, I've ran a mile.
I can do that.
Now I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah.
So now I can run the mile in my sleep, and I could try to get to 2. It's the same thing with building your portfolio.
Absolutely. So what's your strategy? Maybe not strategy is the wrong word for this, but how do you get yourself in those circles?
Start a podcast.
Create the circle yourself.
Well, I mean,
You have to
think
create
about it.
community or join a community.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like that's how we met each other too, right?
that's true.
It's like that's how did we get in those circles? We started hanging out with people doing those things that build the relationship with other people, and then you try to offer value or something that's of interest to that group.
Did I offer you value?
Yeah,
Not yet. But when we do a deal, you will.
We'll do a park. I'll operate it.
yeah. I mean, because we connected. Dane told me he met you. And I didn't think much about it. Then when he started hopping on Zoom calls, I was like, I don't really know this guy. And then once we hung out, I was like, oh, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, and that is the value.
When I first met you on the Zoom, I was intimidated because you asked you had laser focus and asked a lot of questions. I was like,
Not Trevor.
I was like, whoa, this guy's intense, man.
It scared you?
It scared me, and now I've come to love that about you. That's what I look for.
He's genuinely interested. Some people think they're being interrogated,
Right.
and it can rub them the wrong way. But when you realize Trevor actually is genuinely interested in what your answer is going to be, then you're like, oh, he's just curious.
And if you sell yourself short, he's like, no.
Yeah.
Think
Why
bigger.
not? Why can't you do
Why
that?
not? Tell me why.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a great trait.
What do you mean?
Have. Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, that's great. Let's
do it.
see.
Should we wrap it up?
I think so. I'm
All
out
right.
of questions.
We gotta go boating.
Our new host, Erik Nielsen. Thanks for hosting Deal Junkies today.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Eric's the COO of Equal Housing Group. If somebody wanted to reach out to you guys, bring you a park deal or partner with you or do something, how would they reach out to you?
EqualHousingGroup.com.
There you go. That's easy to spell.
Yes, sir.
All right, Deal Junkies. Hey, thanks for listening. We love you guys. If you want to book a call with us or pick up some free tools, go to dealjunkiespodcast.com and share us with someone you love so they can talk to Trevor. Trevor will ask you a bunch of questions. Call Trevor. He'll ask you a bunch of
I
questions.
talked to like 5
With
people this
laser
week.
focus.
Don't be intimidated.
He means well.
He really
you
wants to help
succeed.
you.
Yes, that is.
All right, guys. Hey, we love you guys. We'll see you next time.